This is the Tesla 1 month overview reading for the month of October 2023. It's currently August 4th, 2023, 1:08 p.m. Eastern Time. Tesla at the time of this reading is currently $260.65. That's USD. And the shuffle file for the October reading was created on August 1st, 2023 at 1:52 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the month, we have a near overbought peak or crest that we sell off from. That'll be on on a multi-day scale, near overbought peak or crest. Probably standing out on a 1 year scale, and it's crossed with a move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter with the full retracement. Behavior around the high, we have an important resistance level on like a year-to-date scale that looking at a year-to-date kind of chart, there's an opportunity there around that price level to position oneself in both directions. Not sure if I would utilize it to do that or not, but it's a good mean point on we'll see a significantly higher price level and a significantly lower price level in like the next month or the next 2 months or something like that, in relation to the resistance that we meet in October for the high. Behavior around the lowest low for the month, there'll be a peak that we sell off from. It'll be a prominent peak standing out on a 1 month scale, and we'll sell off from that pretty notably through multiple supports. Before we go any further, let's see how we're doing for August so far. So only a few days have passed in August thus far, but it's looking pretty solid. So we had this erratic behavior. Looks like we kind of moved into the erratic behavior, like into the second even. There's this move higher, and then a break back down with a full retracement on the second. Into the third, we have a significant, after the sideways rotation establishing support, there's a significant move higher, and then sideways rotation at a higher price level. And it looks like we're in the midst of, this is pretty solid, we're in the midst of an important support level on a multi-day scale. There's a correlation there in orange to the Emperor card. And we're doing some sideways rotation, likely opening lower, but it looks like we were just off by a matter of a few hours. We have the high on the 3rd. Looks like it was on first thing in the morning on the 4th. Pretty solid thus far. And as far as the 1 year goes, here in July, we had this sharp drop, a unicursal drop off of the peak. We should see another sharp drop in August off of a peak, and then another sharp drop to a lowest low probably in September. There may be a gap, like a notable gap up, not really at the end of October looking at the 1 month, but possibly like right at the beginning of November, a big move to the upside or an unexpected move higher. Something to be aware of there. But it's pretty erratic from the standpoint of a 1 year, but it's looking really solid. The 1 year, if you're wondering, was created on January 22nd, 2023 at 3:11 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so let's get into it. On the 2nd, we have a pop and drop, and there's a day trade opportunity in there. I'll talk about the trade opportunity in more detail in the paid version. Likely a peak or a crest early in the day on the 3rd. A trade opportunity there. It looks like there's a day trade opportunity here on the 3rd as well as a swing trade opportunity here at a peak or crest early in the day. And there's a sideways S formation within a channel on the 3rd. So we should likely see a decline, an incline, and a decline within like a resistance and a support, making a sideways S. On the 4th, we likely have our highest high here. There's a lot of price movement, price change to the upside probably into like the end of the day. 3 local highs on a 1 day chart for the 4th, and then on the 5th another trade opportunity. A lot of trade opportunity in the first week here, but another trade opportunity we'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. A rally along a diagonal trend line probably coming out of the 4th into the 5th. That rally along the diagonal trend line ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. We have a prominent trough in the morning on the 6th, and a big move to the upside on the 6th, offering opportunity again on a multi-day kind of swing trade. We likely have a move higher through an important resistance. We stay above it briefly and then break back down through the same price level with a full retracement of that move somewhere here in the 6th, because we've got a correlation here to the love card in the yellow. Probably similar going on at some point here on the 9th, but this is a U-shaped dip on the 9th. We likely open to the downside on the 9th, and then there's a U-shaped dip with 2 peaks on either side of this like trough in the middle. Trade opportunity we'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. and then a notable move to the upside towards the end of the day on the 9th. Probably a gap down or a drop in the morning on the 10th, and then a rally that'll be like a prominent trough, and there'll be a rally out of that prominent trough, but that rally will end on the 10th as well. Probably a lower open. This may be our lowest low. Actually, the 9th may be our lowest low thus far, and then the 11th would be a lower low and lowest low thus far through the month. We have this big move on the 11th, big move that'll stand out on a multi-day scale and a full retracement of that move back down. With then on the 12th, big move. There's like a crest here on the cusp of the 11th, 12th, and there should be a really big move into that crest. There's a significant peak or crest here for the month. It could be a highest high, but not the strongest possibility. So we probably have a gap down then from the 12th into the 13th. We do some sideways rotation, establishing support on the 13th, and then a big move higher on the 13th. On the 16th, a move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter with the full retracement. And it's really like a sideways rotation, a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline into what may be our lowest low there on the 17th. There's a trade opportunity on the 16th and the 17th. We'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, this is one of the best ways to support the channel. We definitely know the names of everybody that does this. You go to our services, SO Meta Posts, scroll down to monthly subscription. What you get for the monthly subscription, you can subscribe to any of these on a monthly basis. There's about 3 to 8 minutes of additional content on the end of the paid version of these videos. And in that content, we talk about the best trades, what to look for on chart behavior as far as exit and entries within like estimated time frames. So you know what to look for your entry points and your exit points. We're not right all the time, but we're pretty solid most of the time. If you trade responsibly with this information, you should do pretty solid. And then there's ongoing guidance on the live stream that we have between 3 and 4 on weekdays. If you're interested in more than one subscription, you should get the 30 days access to all paid. It's the most popular subscription we have on the site, and that gets you access to the paid version of all of these. Plus, Amazon and Google aren't ones that you can subscribe to on a monthly basis. In order to access the paid version of Amazon and Google, you need to get the all paid version. All right, so thank you to all those of you that go ahead and do that. Let's get back into it. So sideways fluctuating rally on the 16th that precedes a decline. Decline takes us into the 17th, where there's an important support level on a year-to-date kind of scale that's highlighted on the 17th, and likely a lowest low there at that important support level. On the 18th, we have a rally into key resistance where we have a failed attempt to break through resistance, and then a decline through key support. It may very well be the support from the 17th. Looks like a trough at the end of the day on the 18th. On the 19th, we opened slightly higher than where we were on the 18th, and then there's a big move higher early in the morning on the 19th. But that rally does end with the halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline through key support on a multi-day scale there on the 19th. So we go from this big move higher, opening slightly higher on the 19th, and then a big move higher early in the morning, with a peak or crest towards the end of the day, and this will be a prominent peak or crest standing out on a 1-month scale, followed by a decline, and that takes us into a trough on the 20th. Likely a move higher and then a full retracement of that move back down on the 20th. There's a trade opportunity there as well that we'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. On the 23rd, we likely open around the same level as the trough from the 20th. And there's an important resistance that would come up against that we've met many times before and failed to break through. And it looks like it's towards the end of the day there. There's a peak or crest. Pretty notable price swings on the 24th. A trough and possibly a lowest low. It's either the same low or it's a lower low here on the 24th. It's either the same low or a lower low as the low that we saw there on the 17th. A lot of downward movement to reach the trough on the 17th. Oof. All right, so price swings on the 24th, a trough towards the end of the day, and possibly also a peak towards the end of the day out of that low, with a notable trade opportunity on the cusp of the 24th, 25th. Sideways rotation on the 25th that ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us to another prominent peak on the cusp of the 25th, 26th. And we decline pretty notably there. A trade opportunity on the 26th. We decline through creating multiple new creating multiple new resistance on the way down in that decline. On the 27th, we have a multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. There may be a little bit of a rally towards towards the end of the day. And there's actually probably an unexpected move higher here on the 27th or the 30th. I'm advised to be cautious here on the 30th. There's probably a pretty unexpected move to the upside here on the 30th, but I'm advised to be cautious. There's a prominent reversal standing out on a multi-day scale there on the 31st. Sneak preview for the following month. Like I said, there's going to be an unexpected move higher. And that Fool card also indicates possibly like a gap of some kind. All right, guys, that's Tesla for October 2023. Don't forget to follow that rule of karma, my friends. You do so here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, where we ask that you donate 5% of the profits that you make from this information forward to one of these charities, and 5% of the profits back to the channel here. Leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you do that, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.